So you want to teach English overseas? Good choice. I recommend it as a great way to travel, see the world, experience a new environment and culture in depth. So let's have a look at the options.
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G. Snoop Dogg.
Okay, so option one, teaching English in Thailand. So Thailand is a very popular place to teach. It has a very low cost of living, it's got a good enough infrastructure for traveling, and a very friendly, Westerner friendly type of environment. So for any job, an international job, I recommend this website. Okay, it is called Dave's ESL Cafe, or eslcafe.com is the actual URL. And this is the international job page. You can find jobs from all over the world. So if you're looking for Thailand, you can find one in Thailand. You can find one in Vietnam. You can find one in Saudi Arabia, etc. But we're looking for Thailand here. So let's just type in Control F, Thailand. And you can see here, Thailand teaching jobs with Green Heart Travel. 1 semester paid contracts, accepting applications now. Furthermore, there are plenty of other gigs here. And if you're looking for the basic cost of living, what you can expect, what qualifications do you need, here is a good website as well, gooverseas.com. Now they recommend a 4-year university degree plus a TEFL certificate for Thailand, but in my experience, my friends, it's not needed. You actually don't need anything. There is a high demand of English teachers in Asia. Okay, there is a high demand for it. So whether or not you're qualified, you can actually still find a job. If you have a degree or a TEFL certificate, you're increasing your range, you're more likely to find a better job that suits you. Speaking Thai also helps. So if you don't speak Thai, perhaps take a language class, or better yet, just speak to your friends, make lots of friends with the locals, get immersed in the culture. It's the best way to experience it. Where are you going to find your jobs? There's lots of different websites. As I said, esl.com, eslcafe.com is the way to go for me. That's how I found my job in China and Hong Kong. You can also look at different types of schooling. Kindergarten, adults, teenagers, government sector, private schools. They all have their pros and cons, which I'll get into more in the China part of this video. So work permits as well, your company should look after all of that. There's no worries. But before you sign the contract, just ask what you want, what you're looking for. Is your accommodation covered? Are your flights covered? What's your salary? Where are you living? Am I sponsored for a visa? So the average salary of living in Thailand teaching English is around 30,000 baht. That's pretty much what I've found looking across, doing a bit of research, which is about $1,000. And this is more than enough to cover expenses. And actually you can save money and do a lot of travel on that. Culture and etiquette, remember, wherever you are in the world. In Thailand, people are very free usually in terms of acting towards Westerners, and they'll understand people quite well. Large population is Buddhist, so just keep that in mind. Option 2, teaching English in Japan. So we're back here on the eslcafe.com page, and I've typed in Japan, and it comes up with, a plethora of options. Japan and English teaching also goes hand in hand. From what I've heard, it's a very good experience. So the average pay is I think it's about 200,000 yen, which is divided by 100. It's about 2,000 Australian dollars, or 2,000, just over 1,500 maybe US dollars, around there, per month. That is the average sort of salary. Cost of living can be high in Japan depending on where you are. In the bigger cities it's going to be more. In the rural areas you're probably a lot more likely to find cheaper food, a lot cheaper accommodation, and things like that. So again, weigh up what you want out of it. Do you want to live in a rural area, experience that kind of lifestyle, or do you want to live in a big city with more conveniences, easier travel infrastructure, things like that. Also for Japan, you're actually much more likely to need a degree, a college degree, and maybe a TEFL certificate as well. So Japan can be harder to find a job teaching. However, again, it's not necessary if you look around and are willing to accept a lower paying job or less of what you actually want. So option 2 is Japan.
Option 3, teaching English in Korea.
When finding a teaching job in Korea, they actually have a dedicated job board just for Korea. You can see International Korean and Chinese job board. So Korea is a big market for English, has a big market for English teachers. You can see the salaries starting around 2 million, go up to, I've seen, over 3 million Korean currency. I'm not sure what it is, but I think it's around 1 to 2,000 US dollars a month. Again, Korea can be expensive, but I think it's in between Japan and China in terms of cost of living. I actually don't know a lot about teaching in Korea. I've got some friends again who have done it, and they say it's a good experience. Perhaps they prefer teaching in other countries though. It really depends on the person, but you can see there are a lot of jobs ranging from non-qualified, no experience, all the way up to being a registered teacher. And that's the same with pretty much any country you go to. If you're a registered teacher in your home country, you can find a very, very good job teaching overseas.
Option 4, teaching English in China.
So China also has a dedicated job board. This is where I sent out all my applications recently and last year when I was looking for a potential teaching job when I was located in Vietnam, looking to travel through China. You can see there are a lot of different schools wanting you. From my experience, you don't need any degree, don't need any experience if you want to start off in China. And then once you've got your foot in the door, you can build up from there and see what you can get. However, again, if you have a degree and previous experience, you've actually got some bargaining power to get what you want. And we can have a look at a job here. So this is, if you're qualified, this is a typical job you will have. So, and by qualify I mean previous experience or a degree, or both. So this is a group, Endeavour Group International. It's a recruiting company, I believe. They want native, non-native, as you can see, TEFL, degree, experience. They all increase your salary, increase your job options. And this is 2,000 Australian up to over 3,000 a month after taxes. You get a bonus completion at the end of your contract. If you stay on, you might get a loyalty bonus as well. You might get a signing on bonus to start with, free accommodation provided, flight allowance, sponsored legal work visa. Medical insurance, this is standard for a school that looks after you well. Private schools can pay more, kindergartens can give you better holidays. As you can see here, these are in the bigger cities, but they do have some smaller areas located in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So if you're interested in looking at this position, what you do is you simply email the person, your CV, your TEFL, any scans, passport, stuff like that, a photo, and a little cover letter, and they'll get back to you. So there really is no need to be sort of worrying about whether you're qualified or not. Just go out there and do it if you're interested in trying it. My experience has been fabulous in China. The pollution can be an issue, but again, China's a very big country. It depends where you are. It can be crowded, it can be empty. It depends.
Option 5, everywhere else.
Finally, international teaching. If you don't want to teach in your own country, you can teach in Chile, you can teach in Colombia. So South America's got a small thing for it, a small demand for English teachers. Middle East has a large demand for it as well, and from what I've looked at in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, you need at least a degree and a TEFL certificate and teaching experience. If not, you will need more, which includes a teaching license from your own country. But those jobs are very well paid and you get very well looked after. About 3,000 to 4,000 US dollars a month, with all the added features that you get. Poland also has some starting positions. So the world's your oyster. And for me, if I was 18 again, just finishing school, I'd probably get straight into this. which is good because that's what I'm doing now. I've just picked up a job in Hong Kong.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope you gained some insight, and if you're interested, let me know, put in a comment, like the video, and I can get back to you.